Welcome everyone. Well, is life over after 40, 50, and 60 or above? Or once those grays come out, or you decide that you want to just let your hair come out naturally, or that you stay at home now and you're maybe at that retirement age and that you can enjoy the comforts of being at home and being able to take time to just sit and pet your little cuties. No, life isn't over. I think life is just beginning. And so you need to treat yourself well. You know, a little bit of something sparkly to drink, little sourdough pretzel ring, low in fat, really a great snack. Why not treat yourself well? You've worked hard. You deserve it. And I also think you don't have to settle for something drab. You can take care of your skin, your hair. No, you're not too old to do that. You are just the right, perfect age. A little color on your nails, a little on your lips. Doesn't have to be elaborate. Just something that makes you unique and makes you you. I have to sign up for Medicare. Yes! Medicare. Oh my gosh. Guys, sometimes I think, oh my gosh, I feel like I live under a rock. Yeah, really. Oh, I just have to have another sip. Sorry, I'm slurping, but oh my gosh. It's so warming. It feels good. I'm cold. Is there life after 40, 50, 60, after you dye your hair? Yes, yes, yes. And that's what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about changes in our life. We're going to talk about hair care. We're going to talk about just caring for us. And so let's get to it. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new, a big hello. If you're returning, especially lots and lots of just hugs and warmth going your way. I'm so appreciative of all of you, and today I thought I would just kind of come on and do a chit chat. And one of the main things I want to talk about is, are we washed up after we, enter into our more mature phase? Is there life after 40? Of course. 50? Yes. 60? Absolutely. And it is the best. So what do I want to talk about? First of all, what I want to talk about is, I swear sometimes I think I live under a rock. I know all about online shopping. I'm really good at it. And so I get it, know how it works, but I just really haven't gotten into this delivery grocery thing, like, ordering my groceries online and being able to go and pick them up. And as most of you know, I'm a caregiver. It's really hard for me to get to the grocery store with my mom. I mean, it's like her outing. It's what she enjoys. So I really can't do grocery shopping when I take her. I allow her to come along so she can just go up and down a few aisles, look at the things she wants to look at, get what she wants. But I can't wander off too far or just go, okay, I'm going to go get all these. No, I can't do it. So I finally decided the other day I needed some groceries, and the weather here is just kind of damp and rainy, and I love it, so what can I say? But anyway, because it just makes me want to stay inside and get things done, which I've been doing. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to use the Walmart shopping ad, and I'm just going to put my groceries on, and I'm going to do it. Oh, really? It was the best experience. Now, I chose not to have them select produce for me. I like to do that myself, because there's a lot of times, You see that produce that's right up there? You pick it up. It's just overripe. So I like to do that part of it. But everything else was to perfection. I did check mark, no substitutes. I wanted the exact thing I was putting down. And so I just said, please, no substitutes. And it was wonderful. So I put my order in yesterday, and I had up until, I don't know, I think 1:45 this morning to change it, because I did a pickup for 8 o'clock this morning, between 8 and 9, and put it in. And I was up late last night because I was rearranging. You can see I was straightening up back here, and I'm still not finished. But at about 1 or something, I thought, oh, I forgot the yogurt for my mom. So I just added it, updated it, done. This morning I got my message from them, your order's ready. Please check in, let us know. I checked in, it said 8 minutes for arrival time. I get there, I tell them I'm there, they tell me pull into a certain slot, whatever. I mean, they came out, the delivery boy was so nice and so polite and said, ma'am, you have some eggs, do you want them with you? Yes, thank you for reminding me, and is there anything else you want to have up front? And I said, no. And is everything okay just going in the trunk? Yes. I mean, he was so polite, so nice. Yeah, I will be doing that a lot because it saves me time. I don't have to, worry about leaving the house. My mom's home. I never can really take time. That's why I end up going to the grocery store more times than not, because I just can't think thoroughly enough to, because I'm always in a rush, always in a hurry, because I don't leave her unattended very long at certain times of the day, and I can't always get out early in the morning. That's really her best time when I have to do things, is to leave her then, but by afternoon it's not such a good idea. And so this has been a wonderful experience, and I will do it again. I can't believe it. I'm already home, groceries put away, everything I needed. I am good. So yeah, I guess I live under a rock. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you, just in case you also live under the rock next door to me and, you haven't tried it. Great experience for me. Yesterday, I did have an opportunity to stop into World Market because I was looking for some sugar-free flavoring syrups. I usually can find them at TJ Maxx here locally, and I'll pick up, I picked up a couple over fall and Christmas, and I'm just finishing up my chocolate mint, and it's 0 sugar, and I can have it in my coffee or flavor a smoothie or whatever I want. But I went to World Market because they have a pretty good selection there, and I ended up getting the Torani, I think you say it, Torani. This one's in the coconut flavoring, and it's the sugar-free, and the sugar-free Torani Almond Rocca. And this, I got into both of them already because last night I picked this up. This is, I think you say it's S. Pellegrino. I don't know. You've probably seen it. It's in the grocery stores and stuff, but it's just sparkling natural mineral water, and it's really refreshing. But when you add those flavored sugar-free syrups to it, like the coconut, oh, it was delicious. It's so refreshing and so satisfying, and it just, kind of tricks your mind into thinking that you're having a really nice treat, and I like that. And then, speaking of treats, I did pick up, I like pretzels a lot, and so I have to limit what I can have and how many I have and stuff, but it's really a good snack. But I did find these sourdough craft beer pretzels. They're round rings, they're good sizes, and I can have 1 for 1 point. Last night I had 3 for 3 points. That's pretty much where I kind of stay for my snacks, between 3 and 4 points if I still have them available at the end of the day. And 3 of these and a big glass of ice cold Pellegrino water with the coconut in it was all I needed. It was so good. And 3 points. And these are delicious. So World Market. And I just, I did pick up a couple of dish towels. I was needing a couple of new dish towels, and they have some really nice ones there that I like. And did I get anything else? I don't think so. Just, oh, I bought a some tea bags. So, yeah, but let's get to this. That's kind of all I just really wanted to show you. But, you know, I want to talk about life after 40, 50, 60, and on. You know, I think it's important. I think it's important to love your life and love what you do. And so just to give you a little bit of background info, when I graduated from high school, I went to court reporting school. I did a little, when I was a senior, I did like an on-work program for like 6 or 8 weeks. And I really wanted to center into business, so I ended up getting a little position, you know, that we were able to go to school half a day and then do this little, you know, internship, I guess it is. And I got an internship at the courthouse. So I got exposed to seeing how that end of it operated and worked. And I got to sit in the clerk's office. I got to sit with the court reporter and courts, and just got to work in that environment. You know, it was like paperwork and stuff, but it really held my interest. I really liked it. I thought it was exciting. And so I decided when I graduated, I was going to try to get a job working as a clerical secretary. So I took a couple of shorthand classes, because shorthand, like this, yeah, that's what you did back then. And the dictaphone was just coming about as something that was like new and wonderful, that you could dictate right into it with this big old heavy mic, and it would go on a reel-to-reel tape. Hey, look, I'm dating myself. And then things would be transcribed on a typewriter, and they weren't even electric back then. Well, they had electric, but you know, that's for this really souped up offices. But anyways, I got a job. I interviewed for a job for an attorney, and he was also an assistant prosecutor for the county, and he had a private practice. And so he was interviewing for his private practice. So I got the job. I was the only person there. He had a really cool office in this old building in the downtown area, in the town where I lived. And it was just this little office, and he held his practice in the afternoon. And it was mostly, what he did in his office was like mostly civil type cases. But he was working as a county prosecutor. And so this was just a private practice, and you know, he did things like wills, estates, you know, that kind of stuff. So he wanted somebody for his office. And then down the hall from his office was this big, beautiful library that was his. It was awesome. It was wonderful. But anyways, that's how I got my start. And it was because of him that he said, you know, you're a young gal, and you know what I think would be good for you? You should think about getting into court reporting. And he goes, and I know the person that you need to meet. So he set up a lunch for me to go with him and this court reporter who worked at the courthouse. And of course I remembered her because when I was in school, that's where I worked. And she remembered me, but anyway, she talked to me all about court reporting. So he planted the seed, and I am grateful that he did, because I worked for him in his office, and I thought about it, and a couple of times a week he'd say, "Have you thought about going to court reporting school?" And we checked into it, and there wasn't a school in the local area. There was one in Cleveland, Ohio, and yeah, I'm thinking about it, but I liked working for him, making some money. I was still living at home with my parents. Well, he was elderly, and he was one of those guys who was just going to work until he couldn't work anymore. He had been in practice for years and years, and he was just a real sweetheart. I think he had a heart attack, and he passed away. And it was so devastating to me. He had just a sweet wife and a wonderful family, and oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And, I really liked him. But they asked me if I would stay on at the office until they could get it closed out. So during that time, I kept thinking about what should I do? What should I do? So I thought about, what if I do get into court reporting? And that's how I contacted the school. They sent a representative, and the rest is history. I went to court reporting school. I graduated from court reporting school. I then took my first job in Toledo, Ohio, worked as a court stenographer. My first job I got not as a freelancer. I actually interviewed for a freelancing position, and I was offered the position. And then I went on an interview at the courthouse for like full-time, everyday city employee working for the courthouse as assigned to a judge, and I took that job because that was a great job. And I worked as a court reporter for about 8 years, and then I had some change in my life, and I moved from Ohio to Texas. And at that time, I started to have this interest in, I'm not sure I want to continue to do this. It was great while I was single, but when I got married and wanted to start a family, I just made some changes. I stayed in that area, and I did work for a court reporter in my home after my son was born. Before that time, I went and worked for a law office and did secretarial work and used my stenography for office purposes, dictation and stuff like that. But I just really wasn't quite interested in going back full time as a court reporter. And a lot of things come into play there, and that'll be a whole nother video as to why I had changes. Being introduced into the political arena at a young age, and just all that. It was just not my jam. But anyway, so what I ended up doing after I was married is I started working in a law office, and from that law office I worked my way up to a paralegal for the office. And then I had my son, and then we realized we weren't going to be able to have any more children, and he was going to be 3 years old. And I was like, it's time for me to be that stay-at-home mommy, because that's what I want to do. And so I gave it up, and then I worked from home, and a court reporter hired me, and I did all of her transcriptions. At that time, it was done through the computer, and we were all set up. So I did that for about a year and a half while I stayed at home. And then they went to, their transcription went like, I guess you would just say it's like computerized with the stenography machine and all of that. So that kind of just dwizzled down. And then I just stayed at home until my son was in about 8th grade. And then I went back into re-educating myself and went into nursing then. And I spent 15, 16 years in nursing, and now I'm retired and I'm back at home. I am a caregiver for my mom, and I'm back where I love to be, in my home. I never was one to really think about careers and being that. And I'm not saying anything to anybody who's, that's wonderful. It's great. You have to be able to make a living. But I've always wanted to stay at home. And if I had the wisdom and the insight and the confidence that I have now, back when I was in my 30s, I would have done something really different to be able to make my stay at home profitable. Yeah, well, a little slow in that area, but nonetheless, education is never wasted. So I can say I was a court reporter and a nurse. So, it's good. It's good. But where's my heart? My heart is in my home. I love being at home. I love being a housewife. So just because I don't have any small children at home, I'm like, no. I have a granddaughter that I spend tons of time with, and I am blessed that I can be at home. I can pick her up from school when they need me to. I can go pick her up and take her to lunch. She can just come over and spend the day with me. Oh my gosh, I am blessed beyond. And I can do this. This has been a lifesaver for me. And maybe, some of my family and friends might think, hey, you're kind of crazy to do this, but I'm not, because it's opened up a community to me. I have a very small channel, and it has given me a way to relieve my stress. Being a caregiver is a whole nother world. It's a whole nother ball game. It's just a whole nother video, and someday I'll be able to talk about it. Right now, it's not something that, I don't know. Maybe I can help somebody who's going through it, but I just don't handle things as well, and I need help with it too, because it is very hard. It does change your life. So I find my outlet doing YouTube videos. So this video started off with, is there life after dyeing your hair, after you hit a certain middle age era? Yes, there is. So, do you still need to take care of your hair after it grows out and you've transitioned? And I'll link the videos below that I've done talking all about that. Yes, you do. And I'm going to point something out to you. As you can see right here, and right here. I did damage to my hair because I used a heat product tool, brand new, and it permanently caused this yellowing. It's like a staining on my hair. The hairdresser has put in a gloss to, kind of control it, tame it down, and suggest, wash with some purple shampoo periodically. Let it just sit on your hair, because that will help it. But basically, it's going to have to grow out now, because she believes that what it did was it really fried my hair. It singed it. Now, it didn't singe it to burning it off, but I did have a few broken pieces up here because it was all part of this. And that I've noticed, yeah, there they are. And just kind of. So, my fault. Learned a huge lesson, did a video on it, and yeah. So do I want to go and get it cut short so that nah, I'm just gonna keep my hair healthy. So I do lots of masks on my hair, or let's say treatment. So at least 2 to 3 times a week, especially 3 times a week now, because I'm trying to repair some damage. I brush my hair every night, every morning with a nice bristle brush. I've showed this before, taking care of my hair. I think it's really important to do that. I use good products on my hair. This is not a sponsored video. I have been using Monat hair shampoos and conditioners since my hair was pixie short and I was growing out my grays, because there was some brassiness and it toned it down, and it just helped my hair transition and to where it just had a nice, kind of even look to it. So yes, and I've continued to use it for 2 reasons. It's been very great on my hair, number 1. Number 2, it's about the only product that I've ever used consistently for this length of time that's treated my scalp. I kind of have a very irritable scalp along the hairline, behind the ear, under the neck, to where I get patches of dry skin, especially in the winter, and it's irritating. Sometimes it itches. I have a little dry spot right now. It's 100 200 times more improved now than it has been, because these little dry spots can get very red and irritating, and just they hurt sometimes because the skin is so sensitive. So that shampoo has treated my scalp condition beautifully, and it's really important if you also suffer from, dry hairline, or where you see these dry patches. I mean, it almost looks like it's kind of like eczema, or maybe seborrhea, when you get that, and it's just like it's not just scaly, it gets a little scabby. And I had it for all my life, honestly, for so that it would just be so irritating, and so improved. And this year, I just have noticed that it's especially even more, or it's just been, I've had less little flare-ups with it. And I try to keep my head moisturized really, really well. And so that's the reason I use a good shampoo. So you have to find a good shampoo, and you've got to find some good hair masks that can treat your hair. Coconut oil, awesome. I swear by it. I also incorporate that in some of the masks that I use. And one of the ones I've been using, Colleen Rothschild, love it. It's one that's mild enough you can use it every time you wash your hair if you want. I don't see it's necessary, but since I've done this damage to my hair, I have been extra cautious, and I used an intensive shampoo and conditioner that is from Monat. That is one that I like to use about once a month, so I've been using it a little more frequently because it did dry my hair out, did do the damage. Ugh. But not going to beat myself up like continuously. Made a mistake, learned from it, move on. Moving on. So I just wanted to say, love yourself, enjoy and treat yourself. And, when you're growing out your hair and you're going through all these phases, and like I said, I'll link some of my videos below that I've talked about these steps in detail. If you're not a makeup person, I think sometimes what helps is, okay, maybe you can just step outside of your comfort zone and say, I'm going to put just a little bit of blush on and just a light color on my lips, because it just helps with that transition. It helps, it helps make you feel not washed out, or it helps block all that stuff you hear from the outside. You're going to look old. It's going to make you look washed out. If you're not a makeup person, a little color, just a slight bit. You don't have to go spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on makeup. Just a little bit. And it might just, brighten up your skin. Or get involved in headbands, hats, something that is different, just to get you out of the drudgery of thinking my life is over because I'm gonna grow my hair out. Because it's not. And now, if you like makeup like I do, I think it's important to take that few minutes, however long it takes you, to put yourself together. Now, I am really going to stay home today, but I was getting ready to go out to pick up my grocery from Walmart, not having to go in or anything, but I just want to get myself ready and fixed up. And I don't do it every day. A lot of time I like to do masks on my face, give my face a break from all makeup, and just go natural a couple of times a week. But if I know someone's coming over, or I might have to go out, I do like to take that time to get myself fixed up. And it's important. And I also think, polishing a counter, washing dishes, taking care of your home, your gifts, it's important to you. It's important to, if you're in this phase of retirement and you've earned it, you deserve to be happy, you got to make it. You have to make your home and your life yours. And I am somewhat isolated. I can't do a lot of things that I would love to do, like more volunteer work and more participation in church activity. I just can't do it right now because my responsibility is as a caregiver, and I don't always do that. Well, but I'm trying. So that's all I wanted to talk about. And of course, it's another 30-minute video or so, but I just wanted to just share a little mix-up of things. So let's sum it up. Take care of yourself. Go through your phases and your transitions with a lot of pride. Grab a hold of it. Own it. There's different phases in 40. There's different phases in 50. And 50, it's kind of shocking. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm 50. I can't believe I'm 50. Oh my gosh, I can't be 50. When you're in your 40, I think you think, oh, I know it all because I've done my growing up. I'm a mom. I got kids growing up, blah, blah, blah. I'm in my 40s. I can do whatever, Yeah, you don't know anything at 40. Trust me. You're still learning a lot. You're learning a lot, especially about you, because you're entering that phase of some menopause, some more gray hairs, some kids are leaving, empty nest. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? 50s, you're shocked. You're like, I'm 50? No, I can't be 50. I'm still working. No, still have an active life. Still blah, blah, blah. And then you reach your 60s and you really own it. You really own it. I have, in my 60s, made commitments, dedicated things to myself that I'm going to do. I'm going to change my life. I'm not going to sulk. I'm not going to fall into this. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go with gusto. I'm going to let my hair grow out. I don't care what anybody says. I'm doing it. And I'm going to lose 50 pounds. And that's another thing I did. Yes, I lost 50 pounds. And I'm on a different journey. I'm on a different avenue. I feel good about owning my 60s. And I have to sign up for Medicare. Yes, Medicare. Now, I've always used that terminology when it relates to my parents. Their Medicare. I'm taking care of their Medicare. Now it's me. And that's a whole nother ball game. Oh my gosh. It'll just make your head spin. Yeah. But it's where I'm at. I'm proud of it. I am proud of it. Now I'm on a new phase of dedicating myself to working out, getting in tone, just strengthening my back and my shoulder muscles because I'm hunched over, guys. I have a bad habit. I don't sit straight, stand straight. My family's been getting on me. So I'm trading my dues for Weight Watchers that I've paid every month to a membership where I can go and get some strength and hopefully can find that time early in the morning where I can get that done and leave the house. And so that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoy talking to you. You all have been so supportive of my journey with weight loss. I hope I inspire you. I hope I can inspire you to, if it's your gray hairs to grow out, go for it. If it's cutting down, losing weight, go for it. If it's just loving your life, where you're at and what you do, find enjoyment in it, go for it. And most of all, the most important thing, honestly, I get tired of hearing everybody, I'm obsessed with Pellegrino water. I can't live without it. No, I don't want to be obsessed over anything like that. I want to be obsessed with my relationship with God in a good way. And so I say, you can do anything through Him who strengthens you. Till my next video, be kind, be humble, and age gracefully. Bye.